Monday, just 2 more before the final Fresh Prince. But first,
most people are intimidated by me.
The boys try to hustle William Shatner.
Let go of the stick.
But a trip to the dentist gets them better acquainted.
Spock, is that you?
Then, in the house, has Marion's worst nightmare finally come true? All new Fresh Prince and In the House, NBC Monday. Then, she had her lover kill her parents.
It's the only way we can be together.
Now she's free.
Seattle's first late-game miscue in the entire series. Gary Payton foolishly goes down and double teams Hakeem, leaving Sam Cassell, who's out here wide open. Sam Cassell, who Hannah just told us had some freezing spray applied to his elbow, cans the three. And now Seattle with only 4.1 seconds to go. A lot of time. Gary Payton down the middle. That's what I'd call.
Perkins, a three-point shooter. Nate McMillan, three-point shooter on the floor. Payton on the far side.
Drexler's on Payton.
Kemp. We go to overtime. You want to talk about the heart of a champion. Down 3 games to none, down 20 points in game 4, and the Rockets come back to force overtime. Shawn Kemp looking to be the hero. Not yet. We're tied at 101, and we're coming back for the extra session right after this.
You followed 1,000 players here. 1,000 more will follow you. Maybe someone will listen. Maybe someone will hear. We've been working too on a brand new beer from Miller. Brewed a new way from the heart of the hops for big flavor that goes down easy. Brand new Miller beer. Listen to what's inside you. Then you can reach for what's out there.
Because someday you'll get that big promotion that moves you to Seattle. Someday kids will be in the picture. And someday you'll get away to write the great American novel. It'll happen. That's why we've spent 28 years constantly improving the Corolla. So wherever life takes you, we'll be there. The newly restyled Toyota Corolla. We're looking forward to tomorrow.
I can't believe I'm losing my hair back here.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, right.
Look, if you want to regrow some hair, check this out.
Rogaine? Don't you need a prescription?
Not anymore.
How's it work? Rogaine goes to the root of your hair and for some people gets it to grow.
What have you got to lose?
Nothing, I guess, except more hair.
That's been easy to use.
And it's starting to work.
See, there's room for growth in every relationship.
Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair.
Houston fans are believers. They've come back to tie at 101. We have 5 minutes to play in the overtime session.
All the momentum now, though, for Houston. The crowd is raucous. They're dancing in the streets here in Houston, throwing confetti and steamers.
New York with the early lead on the Chicago Bulls. We'll take you there as soon as this one winds down.
You mean there's another game?
Settle down, Mr. Walton.
This one may never end.
Kemp.
Shawn Kemp starting to double clutch, get in the air to pass.
Hawkins lost it. Drexler. And he'll shoot 2. Let's go over to Hannah Storm. Hannah.
Greg, this is a flashback in a way. 2 years ago here in the Summit on Mother's Day, the Houston Rockets had a 20-point lead over the Phoenix Suns. The Suns came back and forced that game into overtime. The Suns eventually won, so the Rockets know the tables can turn. Something about playing on Mother's Day in this arena, Greg.
All right, Hannah, thank you. Clyde Drexler misses the first free throw. He will shoot another in an effort to give the Rockets their first lead of the afternoon. There it is. Mrs. Drexler says, way to go, Sonny.
Interesting thing is this whole run has been done without Hakeem Olajuwon. Not a factor in the statistical sense.
McMillan open for three. And Perkins pushed off. The fans throughout the afternoon have felt it, and only in the fourth quarter, when Houston was down 88-68, did the team begin to feel it.
And that's what a real team is all about, feeding off those fans. Now they're finally trying to dump it into Akeem. But when those fans push you and push you, they just will not let you lose.
Cassell to the baseline. In and out.
I think Gary Payton has to get more aggressive on the offensive end, looking for his own points. Spread the floor.
3:45 to play here in overtime.
Gary's making that automatic swing pass. And he's the one with the hot hand.
McMillan going to try another three. And missed that one.
In this situation, you only let your teammates miss once. And then you say, hey, I'm taking that.
Nate McMillan was 5 for 5 in three-pointers in game 2. Ori. Ellie. 104-101. Houston by 3.
Seattle has gotten very conservative on the offensive end. Not attacking, not driving. Finally, Perkins backs in and draws an obvious foul on Ori.
Robert Ori has now fouled out.
A huge loss with Ori fouling out. He's the one with the hot hand. He was throwing up the wild three-pointers that were draining in without even looking, Greg. And that's how hot he was. 15 of those in the fourth on 5 of 6 threes. His loss of shooting will be a huge factor. They come in with Mark Bryant, the only off-season acquisition for the defending champions.
Perkins now 2 out of 5 from the line.
2 very valuable forwards, one from each team fouling out.
Perkins got them both. 104-103. Understand Dennis Rodman has already drawn a technical foul at Madison Square Garden.
Not a good way to start a game when you're already playing without Tony Kukoc.
Payton picks up the loose ball and slows it down. Hersey Hawkins, and Hawkins missed. And the Sonics are stone cold from long range.
Payton's the one with the hot hand offensively. He made the great drive. He made the three-point shot. Now he's just relegated himself to a passer.
Drexler, short. Piece of it. Sean Kemp got a piece of that. Under 2.5 to play in the overtime. Perkins for 3. And Mark Bryant grabbed the loose ball laying on the floor. Rockets with the ball.
Now the poise of the Rockets starting to take effect here. Are they creating that seed of doubt in the Sonics' mind?
Under 2 minutes to play. Rockets by 1.
Good closeout defense by Seattle.
Cassell got tied up, and timeout called by the Rockets. 1:52 on the clock. The Rockets fighting to play another day.
It's an automobile that has become part of the American landscape. A car that for over 2 million people has become an indispensable part of their lives. Automobile Magazine called it the best car built in America. We call it the 1996 Camry, the gold standard from Toyota.
Years ago, I started an account with this bank. The next thing I know, they merge with another bank, and poof, their name disappears. Then the new bank merges with another bank, and their name disappears. Now the old bank with a new name is merging with a new bank. Look, for years, I've managed to have the same name, and I want a bank that does too. So I'm going to Citibank. I'm even going to get one of those credit cards, my picture on it. That way I'll know their name, they'll know mine, and now they'll even know my face.
the sea, somewhere waiting for me.
Your turn, man.
When you've got the great taste of an ice cold Miller Lite, life is good.
I think she digs you.
Really?
No. Beyond the sea, somewhere.
While you watch the overtime from Houston, the first quarter has begun at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks jump out quickly as they did yesterday. They're ahead 12-6 with 7:26 to play in the first quarter. This is Derek Harper, who has 5 points so far, hitting a 3. Michael Jordan has 4 for Chicago. Dennis Rodman has picked up a technical after a foul call. He slapped the ball out of the hands of Anthony Mason and picked up the tee. So it's 12-6, and back we go to Houston.
1:52 on the clock. The Rockets with the ball and a 1-point lead. And 2 on the shot clock. Ellie. And the fight for the ball won by Nate McMillan. So the Sonics come back looking for the lead.
Set offense, that's the NBA playoff action down the stretch of these big games. Seattle has been perfect. Nice pass.
Hawkins on the drive. And the Sonics go back on top. 105-104.
Seattle was settling for those long threes that late in the game you get tired from when the fans on the road are wearing you down. Now it's time for Akeem to respond.
Akeem, tap pass across the middle. And McMillan for Kemp. Got a Olajuwon in the air and drew the foul. The Sonics started strong with Sean Kemp. Will they finish strong with it?
This whole play set up by Akeem Olajuwon fading away and trying that weak cross-court pass, which Seattle has picked off with regularity. And then the dominance and athleticism of Sean Kemp, who converts the three-point play.
And Houston calls time with 1:07 to play. A 1-point lead has turned into a 4-point deficit. We're coming right back to the Summit in just a moment. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
When I was coming up, all I did was run and jump.
Run, jump.
Jump. Then I stopped and went to college, full time, thanks to support from the College Fund and companies like Budweiser. As for hurdles, I got over them later.
It is where the lofty atmosphere of most luxury cars is left behind, and where an extraordinary level of comfort and roominess begins. It is the American-built flagship of Toyota, Avalon. Offering the highest refinement of Toyota quality and engineering excellence, Avalon delivers the greatest luxury of all, peace of mind. Avalon. Experience the tranquility.
You ever notice the face of your kid on the way to McDonald's? His eyes light up. He smiles uncontrollably, and he just gets so happy. Come on, Dad. Some things never change.
Now McDonald's has a new kind of burger, the Arch Deluxe, with the taste, toppings, and big size grown-ups love. The new Arch Deluxe, the burger with the grown-up taste, also available with bacon.
The Rockets come back onto the floor with 67 seconds, and they're looking at a 4-point deficit. That sign pasted all over the locker room before the game.
A lot of time left in this game. Seattle has been playing conservatively on defense as well as offense. I mean, get to the hoop quickly, make it a 2-point game.
Sam Cassell, no, the whistle blew before. And foul is on Seattle. Gary Payton, guilty of only his second this afternoon.
New York continuing to play good offense, spreading that ball around. The Bulls just can't seem to find an offensive rhythm.
Drexler into the corner. Trying to find room on the baseline, blocked from behind and stuck. And jump ball as well.
Any two players. Jump ball, center court, any two players is the rule. We've seen a little bit of everything today, Greg. Akeem and Sean Kemp.
And a most important jump here for the Rockets. 50.4 to play. Akeem won it. Cassell looking down low for Olajuwon. Double team, cross court. Ellie for Drexler. And now Cassell.
Look at the way Seattle closes out on the perimeter shooter.
And Mark Bryant with the foul from behind. And Seattle with a chance now to put this away.
Again, that single play there was a classic example of this entire series, the frustration for the Houston Rockets. Akeem gets the ball, steps back to the baseline, takes the ball away from the defenders, and they just close him out. He throws a wild, weak pass to the weak side. And that third banner, that might be a while in coming.
Let's not shortchange these Rockets, though. It has been a great run for them.
Absolutely.
Percy Hawkins at the line. And that makes it a 5-point lead for Seattle. 31.5 on the clock. Rudy Tomjanovich says timeout. 110-104. Hey, that's 2 3-pointers. Can they come back again? While we have a moment, let's check in to Madison Square Garden and Marv Albert. Marv.
Seconds remaining in this first quarter. The Knicks are off to a fast start. They lead the Bulls 19-14, trying to tie the series at 2 apiece. The Bulls hoping to take it back to Chicago, up 3-1. Charles Oakley with his first field goal. The Knicks hitting their shots here in the early going. They are 7 of 12 from the field. Dennis Rodman earlier hit with a technical foul by the official Bill Oakes. Luke Longley with 3 blocked shots here at the start. Putting the move on Patrick Ewing. Rebound Jordan. So Michael Jordan with his third field goal. He has 6 points. 3 of 8 from the field. Knicks lead 21-16. Let's return to Greg Gumbel.
All right, Marv, we'll be taking you to Marv Albert, Matt Gukas in maybe 31.5 seconds if the Sonics can hold on to this lead. As I said before we went away, Bill, it's 2 3-pointers.
But do you go right away for 3? Do you go to the hoop to try to get 2? With Robert Horry out of the game with foul trouble, Mario Ellie, Sam Cassell, and Drexler are your 3-point shooters. The problem is you don't have somebody to set those guys up.
Kenny Smith is back in for Houston. Kenny Smith, another 3-point shooter, going to come off the bench now for the Rockets.
Well, they take Mark Bryant out, bring in a shooter and also a playmaker. So now everybody can handle the ball. And there is a lot of time. There should be no sense of rush for Houston right now.
Kenny Smith 0 for 4 from the field today. Inbound to Olajuwon.
Robert Horry is usually the man that inbounds that ball. They had trouble.
Olajuwon. 22 seconds now. And the 3-pointer is good.
Why not? Just keep throwing them up. Now Seattle can't get the ball inbounds.
Sonics. Timeout for Seattle. Rudy Tomjanovich a little bit upset. 18.5 on the clock and a 3-point difference. Three-point lead for the Sonics. We'll come back to the Summit in a moment.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Dead? I got 47 boxes to ship out by tonight.
Easy. FedEx shipping software. It's just point, click, and ship.
Really?
Bramwell thinks I'm working my tail off. Just point, click, and ship. Take a long lunch. Point, click, and ship. Play a little golf. Point, click, ship.
FedEx shipping software is so easy. Just point, click, and ship from your own computer.
Mr. Bramwell. I'm dead.
You're dead.
I'm dead.
You are really, really dead. For free shipping software, call FedEx.
The internet will be the biggest thing since the Industrial Revolution. The internet will be just a chat line for physicists and video game addicts. Someday, your web address will be everything. One day on the internet, the Colonel's secret formula will whiz past the secret formula for Pepsi. What will the internet be? No one knows. But we engineer systems in anticipation of this vast uncertainty. So you can approach it as one huge opportunity. Digital. Whatever it takes.
Along with Bill Walton and Hannah Storm, Greg Gumbel at the Summit in Houston. 110-107 our score. Coming up next, we will take you to Madison Square Garden in New York. The Bulls and the Knicks, Game 4 of their Eastern Conference semifinals. Seattle basketball, as you see the Knicks with a 23-16 lead late in the first quarter.
Seattle has to get the ball in bounds.
Kemp
got a foul
from behind. Cassell fouls him from behind.
Houston played it right. They tried for the quick steal with Akeem. Sean Kemp dribbling the ball up court. A lot of ball early, but the follow through, that apparently was where the foul was called.
Foul is on Kenny Smith. And Kemp goes to the free throw line, where he is 4 for 5 today. Sonics just 7 of 15 in the fourth quarter and overtime. 4-point lead.
Now Sean Kemp, he's got a propensity to follow through over that line. There's been some complaining about a free throw violations, and he's just keeping right on going.
He hits them both. 112, 107, 13.8 remaining in overtime.
Sloppy advance of the ball.
And there's a giveaway at center court. Hersey Hawkins will put the nail in the coffin for the defending champions. Rudy Tomjanovich already on his way over to shake hands with George Karl as we have .5 showing on the clock. It's over.
As we expected.
We'll remind you that we'll bring you interviews from this game at halftime of the Bulls and the Knicks. The final 114-107. The Sonics sweep the Rockets in overtime. For Bill Walton and Hannah Storm, I'm Greg Gumbel. So long from Houston. Let's go to Madison Square Garden in New York and join Marv Albert and Matt Gukas.
Thank you very much, Greg. We're down to 10 seconds to go in this first quarter, and the Knicks split the ball and a 4-point lead on the Bulls.
What's he like, 45? I could hit him.
I mean, it's a different game in here.
Jack, you watch the game? I mean, didn't it suck? It sucked.
It is with much regret that I announced that I am leaving SportsCenter.
Bottom line, he just came out too soon.
Beck's, the original import. Taste German beer at its finest. Beck's, America's favorite German beer.
You be eating contaminated soft serve Wednesday at 11 on 7 News.
Alchemist magic or simple sleight of hand. Chase this trophy long enough, hard enough, and it will affect you deeply. Maturity becomes more than a moment's masquerade. Ability eventually outsteps attitude. Seattle, perennial playoff underachievers, bounced in the first round 2 years in a row, now the loudest voice in the West. Utah, aging veterans who've never made it further than this, a conference final. Today, they're either another victim for Seattle or they take the next step toward a championship.
Is the NBA on NBC. The 1996 NBA Conference Finals.
The Seattle skyline serves as a backdrop for Key Arena, site of Game 1 in the Western Conference Finals. The Space Needle spells out the prevailing sentiment in the great Northwest, where hopes are sky high. The disappointments of the last 2 years, first-round eliminations, now are forgotten. And fans are vocal in their support of a Sonics run for the championship. No more disappointing performances. The monkey is now definitely off. The Sonics back. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Seattle. Tom Hammond and Steve Snapper Jones set for Game 1, Utah against Seattle, what should be a great Western Conference Finals series. This series likely, Steve, to turn on the marquee matchups, which also provide us a nice youngster versus veteran contrast. The first would be Karl Malone and Sean Kemp.
Yeah, Tom, you know, the thing about Karl Malone, he is the present and most dominant force at the power forward position. He has been able to dominate every opponent and get into their minds, and that's where the young rising star Sean Kemp is going to have to make some adjustment. He's got to stay in the game, and he's got to be the steadying force like he was against the Houston Rockets.
Karl Malone, of course, gave David Robinson fits in the